workers from Advanced Granite Solutions, a company in Edgewood, MD, consoled each other after a shooting at the business on Wednesday morning. Matt ButtonThe Baltimore Sun, via Associated Press, an employee at a Maryland countertop business opened fire on 5 coworkers on Wednesday morning, killing 3 of them, and then drove to Delaware and shot a former colleague at a car dealership, the authorities said. Police departments along Interstate 95 from Maryland to New Jersey conducted a widespread manhunt for the gunman, identified by the authorities as Ratty Labby Prince, 37, who escaped officers during a brief chase after the second shooting, in Wilmington, Delaware. About 10 hours after the first shooting, the authorities announced that Mr. Prince had been captured in Newark, Delaware. Other details were not immediately available. Ratty Labby Prince, a suspect in workplace shootings in Maryland and Delaware, was in custody on Wednesday night. Maryland State Police. The police said that they did not know what had prompted the attacks, but that Mr. Prince, a felon with an extensive criminal record and a history of workplace violence, targeted the people in Maryland, and had beefs with the victim in Delaware. The first shooting occurred about an hour after Advanced Granite Solutions opened for business in Edgewood, MD, about 20 miles northeast of Baltimore. Shortly before 9 a.m., Mr. Prince pulled out a handgun, the police said, and fired at 5 colleagues, killing 3 of them and critically wounding 2 others. The employees who survived were taken to the University of Maryland Medical Center's Shock Trauma Center and were in critical condition, said Jeffrey R. Galler, the sheriff in Harford County, MD. The people killed were identified as Bayers Ayacontudev, 53, Jose Hidalgo Romero, 34, and Ines M. Voljak, 48. The owner of Advanced Granite Solutions, Burit Kaba, said in a brief phone interview on Wednesday night that he was shaken and did not want to discuss what had happened. Mr. Kaba told the Associated Press that Mr. Prince worked as a machine operator at the business, which designs and installs granite and marble countertops. Mr. Prince was fired from another Maryland granite business this year after he had been accused of punching a coworker in the face, according to Maryland court records. The first 911 call came in to dispatchers at the Harford County Sheriff's Office at 8:58 a.m., the sheriff said, and officers responded to the scene within 4 minutes. But by then Mr. Prince had left, apparently on his way in a GMC Acadia sport utility vehicle to Delaware to confront a former colleague, the authorities said. There's an individual out there on the loose who committed one of the most heinous acts we've ever seen in our county, Sheriff Galler said at a news conference on Wednesday morning. The scene after a workplace shooting in Harford County, MD, on Wednesday. Patrick Szymanski, Associated Press. About 10:45 a.m., Mr. Prince pulled into the 28th Street Auto Sales, a used car dealership in an industrial section of Wilmington, Delaware. He shot a man twice, including once in the head, the police said. He was being treated at a hospital, the authorities said. The man was conscious when officers arrived and identified the gunman as Mr. Prince. Robert Tracy, the Wilmington Police Department chief, said at a news conference. Mr. Tracy said officers spotted a GMC Acadia leaving the dealership and chased after it, but the driver got away. Mr. Tracy declined to identify the victim, but said that Mr. Prince and the victim knew each other, that they had a beef and that their relationship had gone awry. David McCall, a cook at the Prince Market, a convenience store next to 28th Street Auto Sales, said he recognized a photo of Mr. Prince on the news as a former employee at the dealership. Mr. McCall said that he often got upset at his store and yelled at employees. He had a nasty attitude, Mr. McCall said in an interview. He would throw his money down.